being kicked off of a college campus, or being refused service, or being called out publicly, or getting rude stares from people in public, or even being accosted for your fascist beliefs does not qualify you as being persecuted. As much as I believe in, freedom of expression and freedom of speech, we also need to understand that freedom of speech protects you from the government. It does not protect you from the consequences of your speech. The thing is, there should be no safe space for people who want to persecute. And that is what's being called out. That is what is being accosted. That is being what's refused service. That is what's being kicked off college campuses. People who want to persecute do not deserve the freedom of speech. They do not deserve political protection. They do not deserve to have a safe space for political discourse. They don't. If your political discourse involves the persecution, suppression, repression, oppression of other people, then you deserve to have your speech shut down. I'll even go as far as to say it deserves to be shut down officially by governmental forces. I believe in the freedom of speech, but if your speech involves advocating for the persecution of other people, for the marginalization of other people, for the disenfranchisement of other people, for the oppression of other people, that speech does not deserve protection. There's something called the tolerance paradox. And the tolerance paradox states that as a society, we should be tolerant of everything except intolerance. That is where our tolerance should draw the line, is at intolerance. When you are advocating for all of this intolerance and we're stopping that, we're putting repression on that, that's actually how it's supposed to go. When Mussolini was advocating for fascism and pushing his fascist agenda, when Hitler was doing that, when Franco was doing that, when Salazar was doing that, when Pinochet was doing that, all of those societies descended into a fascist state. And whether you want to call it fascism or not is irrelevant to the fact of whether it is actually fascism. Because what you claim to be is not what makes you what you are. What you do is what makes you what you are. You are not a victim for having your fascist, racist, homophobic, sexist speech repressed. People are actually protecting others that you are trying to persecute. There's a big difference between protecting the people of our society from your persecution by repressing your speech and you trying to persecute them and them speaking out about it. You're not a victim. People's intolerance of your fascist, racist, persecutorial agenda does not make you a victim. What makes somebody a victim is when you are given the power to apply and exercise that persecutorial agenda. Nobody feels sorry for you, except for other people who want to persecute these other people with you. You're not a victim.